All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We have a little small show over here in Framingham. It is the annual Heritage Show at one of the senior centers. It's a great little turnout, maybe 40 cars. I think they might get 50 all said and done, but it's a perfect day. No clouds in the sky, plenty of shade, a bunch of cool cars that I'm going to go through and share with you. This one I could probably hit almost every car in the show, so hopefully I can talk to a few people and have them tell us about their cars and come back and tell you some cool stuff that we saw today. All right, we're gonna start with this truck. And the only reason I'm showing myself is this truck is a 73. I was also born in 73. This truck is in way better shape than I am, but I wanna share it with you. 73 F250. Beautiful truck in red with the mag wheels. Obviously the BF Goodrich all-terrain TAs, long bed, tonneau cover, love the flag. This has a 360, four-wheel drive. I've talked a lot about these and I've showed these a few. I'm gonna show from the other side only because I don't wanna get into the Marty report. It has the original AM radio. But this is so cool, and what I really like to talk about, and I showed on these before, I'm all about lines on these cars, and there's specific years that just look really good. The line on this truck is great. That front end looks amazing. I love the style, and this would have been, again, back in the day, this would have been very much a truck that someone would buy to go to work, right? This would have been a work truck back in the day. This is a really nice truck, though, when you see the inside, the red interior. Man, that steering wheel brings me back to, like, you know, going to do tows with my cousin Bobby in their old ramp truck. Even the same thing with, like, the manual transmission. I'm getting the same vibes as when I was a little kid and we'd be out in that Ford ramp truck doing tows. I think it was an F350 with a ramp bed. So very similar, very cool truck. The truck is beautiful. The wheels look great. The paint is awesome. So a very cool truck, and probably nicer than it was even when it came out of the factory. So super sharp. All right, guys, 1934 Studebaker. Never seen one before. This one is a turbo 350, so it's got a Chevy drivetrain into it. Yellow's beautiful on it. Again, the style on these is just immaculate. You know, the wide white wall tires, the paint match wheels with, you know, the chrome center cap with the model in it, the running boards. This is just such a pretty car, and this one looks like it's been resto-modded inside. So more of a modern interior with a modern drivetrain with a really cool body. Great looking car in the yellow. Just, again, what else could you ask for? You don't see something like this very often, and to see this, again, I've never seen one of these before, I don't think in this particular model, so it's just cool to see. And again, it's awesome that they fixed it up so they can actually use it all the time. 1956 Ford car I've shot before. Awesome looking chrome wheels. Again, the wide white wall tires. This has a more modern 302 with fuel injection. Love the paint that just shines. Again, look at that in the sun. Look at the sun off the top of that roof. But what you loved about these, and again, we talk about the style, and you know, the 55 and 56 and 57 Chevys get the love, and I've talked about this a few times. There's a Chieftain here I'll shoot too. But look at the style on these. I think the style on this, I love these old Fords. I think they're super underappreciated. You know, the fins kind of gave everybody that love for the Chevys, but look at the body lines. Look at the trim that goes across, the trim on the back window, the beautiful interior. I mean, this is just a great looking car. And again, what's crazy to me with these is these were just transportation. This is what everybody bought. And you'll see right here, we've got the 57 Chevy coming in right now, which is a great counterpoint to this 56 Ford. Now, when you look at the front, now this is not obviously a factory front end on this Ford, but when you look at the style, I like the lights on the Ford. I like that little bit of a slant in the grille, just like I talked about like the 68 and 69 Chevelles. So again, this is a beautiful car. And this one's a little bit, again, resto-modded like that Studebaker we saw, but really pretty and great in that color. All right, let's talk about this gorgeous 67 Cutlass. Same front end you'd have. Now, 68, that front end would carry over. It would be rounded a little bit more, but those same four headlights with a little bit of space in between. These are a little more rare. I love the yellow. Oldsmobile always did an awesome job of color matching the wheels to the car. So these guys do a great job. And again, really cool interior. You can see they've got some cool stuff in here. Bench seat, automatic. So this would have been a pretty basic version of the Cutlass at the time. So this would have been really kind of the entry-level model. So you can see nothing crazy, no crazy gauges, but this is what you'd have. But really great looking car. Gray interior, yellow exterior, a little bit of, you know, the brown or beige on the dash. Super simple radio, automatic transmission. This is most likely a 350, you know, turbo 350 car. I don't know if it says the motor in there. That's probably what's in there. That's what usually was in these cars. So really cool looking 67 Cutlass, but what really makes this one pop is the yellow. 1964 F85 Rocket 350. Very cool car in this orangey red. Looks great. Pretty straightforward on this car. Automatic transmission, bar speedometer, bucket seats in the front, bench in the back. Does have the console. So again, nothing crazy on this, but again, very cool to see the F85 version of the car. And again, great looking body lines. As always, really cool looking rear end. I shot the Hurst Olds already. This one I've shot at a few shows. This is a gorgeous car. I won't go too deep into it. I've talked about this a bunch of times. Just a really nice job. What I love about this car is the mileage on it, right? Like this car has miles. It's been driven. It's like, I think it's either almost 80 or over 80,000 miles in this car, but it looks like, you know, brand new, and he did an awesome job. And like I shared with you last time, he always does a nice job displaying it. Has the factory tag that goes into the lightning rod shifter, still the coolest part to me. That got lost years ago. Like nobody had those. And I talked about this last time I shot it. I'm still always blown away. You know, we just shot that Monty SS last week at Lars Anderson. To see the wood grain they put in, even the Monties that were kind of that SS, that more luxury than these, they didn't have the wood trim that this had. They had a little bit. The fact that Oldsmobile was still putting the wooden trim into this with the high performance model was always wild to me. And, you know, when you think about these F-bodies, this would have encompassed the Monty SSs, the Grand Prix, the Grand Nationals, the Regals, all those cars. And I always wondered why, and obviously Olds and Hurst had a great relationship forever. They had Mrs. Hurst, they had the Hurst Olds forever, right? The 83 was the 15th anniversary. But I was always wondering if how cool would this have been if we got one of these like transmissions in a Grand National, right? The same lightning rods in the fastest car they had would have been amazing. But I love the style on this, like I've talked about. It's just an absolutely amazing. All right, our next car, 1958 Pontiac Chieftain in that beautiful mint green color with the darker green cove. 370, 1 year only motor, right before they would change over to the 389s. I was talking to the owner. Beautiful car. Again, the wide white wall tires, the nice chrome wheels with the body match color on the steelies underneath it. So it gives that little subtle detail. That dark green cove, the great looking interiors, you know, again, just such a pretty car. You know, I talked about it with the Cadillacs 2 weeks ago. You know, these ornate interiors, even in all the models, the interiors just look so nice, and they would go over to like more generic interior in a few years, and they kind of lost some of the specialness, because this would have been transportation. Again, this was a really nice car, but again, this wouldn't have been anything like crazy back in the day. But now the differences from what you see is completely different. So, you know, they would really get morph into kind of this, you know, really basic, simple transportation, but these were still really sharp, and a car I think is just such a good looking style. 66 GTO convertible, 389, 4-speed, turned aluminum dash, bucket seats, bench in the back, manual windows. This car is gorgeous, right? Again, kind of that really, the GTOs took off. I like the stacked headlights in the 66, really clean under the hood, obviously a power brake car, most likely a 4-barrel. These would have been like, this could have been a tri-power, and this is a single 4-barrel car. So just really pretty. We'll switch over to this beautiful Chevelle right next to us. So in the green with the 5-spoke mag wheels, this one is a 350. So I think I shot this one before. This was a neat car. Again, vinyl top, 5-spoke wheels, 350, same thing, front bucket seats. This one is a manual again, so another manual car. So a couple of really pretty GM cars from this era. All right, 1969 Mustang 302 convertible with the Magnum 500 wheels, BF Goodrich TA tires, really good looking under the hood. I like the chrome air cleaner, MSD ignition. We've got, again, a nice interior. No console in this one. We are an automatic, but an automatic on the floor with no console. This is a really good looking car here, like the spoiler. This is just great. The black and red with the white top with the red interior just really shines. I like the hood on this. Little hood scoop, looks great. Great looking car. All right, guys, we got a little Capri / Mustang section right here. We've got the Turbo RS. We've got this gorgeous 84. And then I love this 70 Mach 1. I've shot this at so many videos, so I'm not going to do a whole bunch more with it. But, you know, I love the style on it. The Kragers, the staggered wheels, the green and the fastback. Gorgeous car. All right, let's shoot this 1934 Ford truck. Beautiful. You know, I don't know if you can see the paint very well here, but really nice looking flames, almost like a ghost flame. It's very, very subtle. Car has a beautiful wooden bed on it. Little small bed on here. Great little interior with the wood. This is just a really nice restomodded, 34 truck. And it looks great. And again, these colors, but I love when, again, little customization. I like the blast from the past. We might have shot this one before, but dual exhaust, little V8 in it. Just looks great. Sounds great coming in. I saw it when he pulled in. Just a really nice truck. And again, I love the paint. I wish you could get a better job on this one. You can probably see it a little bit where the paint kind of reflects off of it in the wheels in the sun. It's beautiful. It's just a great paint job on a really nice little 34. All right, guys, 2019 GT350. These GT350s when they came out were everywhere. Over 550 horsepower. They've kind of been, supplanted by obviously the Shelby GT500. But what I like about these was the balance, right? The GT500 is a ridiculously fast car. It does handle well, but that car only comes with a 10-speed automatic. And again, it's more of a straight line performer. Not that it won't do well on a track, but it's a little heavy. This is like the old school when you went back to the GT350s and GT500s back in the 60s and 70s, right? Or I should say 60s. You only had a 70. But the GT500 was kind of the drag car. The GT350 was the more balanced all-around performer. And I still feel the same way here. Flat plane crank V8. The thing revs like crazy, so you can go to super high RPMs. It sounds awesome. Great looking wheels, awesome brakes, beautiful interior. This one's a great color. The blue with the red and white, the blue with the red and black stripes. Love the rear end. So this is a gorgeous car, and I've always been a fan of these. And I think, again, you get the manual transmission, you get that flat plane crank V8 that just sounds great and it revs like crazy. It's like an American Ferrari, and obviously we're seeing the same thing that just came out in the ZR1 Corvette, where these flat plane crank V8s just sound awesome. So really pretty car. All right, guys, so we've got the GT500, very similar to the GT350 we saw in the color scheme. So the blue with the black and the red, and like we talked about, the GT350 with the flat plane crank. This is the supercharged big motor, over 700 horsepower in these cars. And again, it's cool to see that difference between the GT350 and the GT500 in a similar color. So this is a great looking car. I've shot this one before, I believe, at some of the Mustang clubs. He's done it beautiful. He always keeps it super nice, but it's cool to see the difference on the GT350 and the GT500 back to back when they're so similar. And you can see again under the hood, a lot more horsepower, a lot faster in a straight line, 10-speed automatic. But like I said, I like the GT350 as well for that flat plane crank V8 and a little better track performance around the corners because it's not quite so heavy. But both beautiful cars. All right, guys, 1970 Nova with a big block in the maroon. Krager SS's. But what I really liked, well, two things I really liked on this car when I was looking at it. I love how clean it is under the hood. The motor looks great. That air cleaner looks awesome on this car. But these back wheels look great. And the fact that we have these deep dish Krager SS's with these like kind of street slicks looks awesome on this car. Some of my favorite wheels I've seen up here. And then we see the interior. So this is a automatic. Pretty simple on the inside. Again, we talk about the really basic instrumentation in these GMs of this time, but it looks awesome, and I absolutely love those wheels on this car. So I wanted to shoot this one when it came in, but I missed him. It was a 35th anniversary Mustang, but this was the little V8 with a supercharger. I saw it when it came in. It actually sounded and looked very good. I didn't get a chance to get back over, but again, 35th anniversary, very cool car. All right, guys, I want to shoot this absolutely stunning 69 Mustang fastback. Unbelievable. I mean, everything on this car is perfect. Beautiful paint job in that candy apple red. You can see, you can see the sun come off of it. This paint is stunning. Under the hood is absolutely gorgeous. Everything under here is just, I'm looking at this car right now and I'm trying to figure out, like, this is when you talk about like a 200 point car to 200, this is what you're talking about right here. This car is stunning. Everything under the hood looks great. Everything's clean. The wheels are awesome. The body lines are amazing. I love the wheels and tires. The interior has the racing seat set up in there. It is a manual. Everything about this car is just super nice. And again, I'm trying to think. I can't see if I can. There's no flaws. There's nothing in here I would change. It just looks absolutely stunning. This is a beautiful car. And I would say, probably one of the nicest looking cars up here and one of the best looking 69 fastbacks I've seen in a long time. All right, I've shot this gorgeous Cameo truck before. I'm not going to shoot it again. We've shot Roy's, his wagon, which is also awesome. I do love that Cameo though. This is a really cool 57 Chevy with a 383 stroker. This one's interesting. When I was looking at it, it looks like it's kind of an orange, with the white. With the wide white walls, with the Krager SS's, with a 383 stroker, so a more modern motor. This is kind of an interesting resto mod because it's kind of a little bit of a hodgepodge of everything, but I think it kind of works. As I was looking at it, and again, if you don't know, orange is my favorite color to see. Like this car next to the 5.0, next to that gorgeous like copper 52 Ford that we shot. over at the show in Wakefield. This is a cool section of cars right here. This one's neat. Like I said, it's kind of different. Really good looking 5.0. We talked to the owner of this show at this car, I believe, in Wakefield as well. And then obviously that gorgeous 51 or 52 Ford. It's been a little bit more been done to it since we saw it. This car is absolutely stunning, or this truck's stunning. And again, I shot this bed last time. I still say one of the best looking beds I've ever seen in a truck. I mean, the workmanship is absolutely incredible in here. Now, this one's pretty neat. And I'm trying to remember, this is the one we shot at Endicott 2 years ago. So I think this is the 76. If it is the 76 with a 4-speed, I think this is the one we shot at Endicott. This is a 455 76, right? Yep, 76. So this is the big motor. And this was a really cool, yeah, this is the 455. We shot this at Endicott. So this would be the last version before they would transition into the Bandit cars. But what was really cool, if you watch Smokey and the Bandit, when they started filming the movie, they started filming in 76. So they had the 76 Trans Am. What they did is they put the 77 front end on. But if you watch a couple of scenes, they actually had these wheels in the movie. So if you take a look at it, the snowflakes that they would have in 77 weren't quite on there yet. So take a look at Smokey and the Bandit, go back and watch it. What you would see is they were actually running 76 Trans Ams with this style. Then they were adding the 77 front ends onto them. And then they'd get a couple of 77s as time went on. But they started with this style. And again, I talked about this before. This is such a toss-up for me. You know, that 76 to 77, I think they're both beautiful. Well, I think this is a better looking car. I think I like the 77 better because I approach it as the Smokey and the Bandit car, which is, you know, what I grew up with. But from a style standpoint, the front end on this is so nice. And this would be a similar front end that would start in like 72. And it would kind of go all the way through. So this front end kind of has a little bit more of an older style. When you went to 77, you went to the 4 headlights. You still had the grill that was separate. It wasn't the plastic nose, but it was that more iconic Smokey and the Bandit style. But like I said, go back and check out Smokey and the Bandit if you haven't watched in a while. Look for, there's a couple of scenes with these wheels on the car because the first one was a 76 they started filming with. All right, guys, white 86 Monty SS, cowl induction hood, factory wheels, factory sunroof or moonroof. Super clean. You know, we've shot a lot of these Monties recently, and like we shot the ones at the couple other shows, again, the hard part on these, if the front clip is nice, usually it's a great indication of the rest of the car. And even this one, if you look, the body lines are still really good. These noses typically wouldn't line up with the fenders. This one does line up well. Then you get into the door, really nice lined up. Pretty good lineup into the quarter panel. So from a body line on these, and these were challenging, right? These pieces right back here were plastic for GM, and they would tend to crack and break over time. So to have one that's this clean and have this level of body line is really nice. So it's a really cool 86. Love the wheels. Again, man, this interior was so iconic in the 80s. This red velour interior. We were looking at the 84, 442, similar interior. They all had the same, these GMs were a very similar style. And then if you get in front of it, we have this little Mustang convertible. 71 to 73. I don't even know if this one's a V8, but it's a cool little yellow convertible. Again, we talk about like the epitome. I shot a Corvette in this color scheme in yellow with brown at one of the shows, and this gives me that same vibe, right? If you're looking at like a 70s vibe, yellow car, brown and beige interior. This one's pretty cool. The original radio, the original clock. It's an automatic. Just a really fun little simple Mustang 70. This is a 73. So if you're looking for a good basic Mustang, you want to have some fun, I like this style. The long nose, the short deck, I think this is cool. And a lot of people don't love these, but I do. I think they look great. Okay, we've got a 63 Corvette convertible. This one I saw come in, really nice driver car. It's in good shape. You know, we've talked a lot about the C2 generations of Corvettes, and this one's nice, knockoff wheels in the red. I mean, think about a Corvette, this is what you think about: red interior, convertible. This one, I believe, is a 327. So the 327, yep, 327, 300 horse, 4-speed, built in 1962. You know, this is a good looking car. Super, you know, basic on the Corvettes, but always good looking. Love the steering wheels. This is just a nice, really nice 63 high quality driver that you can go out and enjoy. Has those great 2 fins, right? You know, in 64, they would change the fins. I always thought it was wild that, you know, Chevy only made these from 63 to 67, and they changed the body almost every year, which was wild to me, right? You know, obviously the 63 coupe with the split window, and you went to the 64 with a non-split window, but the fact that they would change the fins in the front fender basically every year and have to retool the body always blows me away. I mean, they would never do that today. I think that GM's going to put that money and effort, especially to a car that they're not going to sell high volumes of, is wild. But I love back in the 60s, they would do that. They had to stay in front of the competition. They had to do something different. And this is a great example of an early C2 with a 63 with the good 327, 300 horse motor, the knockoff wheels. Just a fun, really nice driver. All right, everybody, we're gonna wrap up our video. I hit a lot of the cars up here, not all of them. I ended up having some amazing conversations with some awesome people, again, as usual. So everyone I talked to, thank you. Super appreciative to get to meet and talk with everybody. So many cool people up here. Some of the young guys that do like metal fab, a couple of the guys that love Mustangs that follow the channel. We shot a couple like short videos. We got a pretty good video of the whole show. Really nice event up here. Great shade. Great that the folks that live in the senior living facility can come in and check that out, which we always love. We're going to do something similar for Fox Hill Village in Westwood as the Bay State Club a little later on in the year. But please enjoy the heck out of the show. These guys are awesome. Like I said, thank you for everyone that came. If you haven't done it so far, please hit like and subscribe. I know I got to meet a bunch of you, so it was a pleasure as always. And if you see me at a show, come grab me. A couple people came up and had some conversation. They had seen the videos, and we got a chance to shoot their cars too. So great to meet all of you. We'll talk to you soon.